Now, let's have a bit of a chat about lens color because everybody's got their preference and there's lots of debate online and in the media about what lens colors to use for what style of fishing. I'm going to preface this discussion by saying that to some extent, it really comes down to personal preference. I'm also going to say that not every lens color is the same. So in better quality sunglasses, particularly glass lens sunglasses, what they do is they coat several different layers of chemicals onto the lens, and they do it in various different combinations. They do it very cleverly and blend these coatings in ways that they can remove certain wavelengths or enhance certain wavelengths and that sort of thing. So it's fine to say, I like a blue lens for blue water, I like a green lens for estuaries or whatever it might be, but there's differences between the blue lens of one manufacturer and the blue lens of another manufacturer, depending on what chemicals they've used, or what combinations of chemicals they've used, and what wavelengths of light they've specifically designed these glasses to remove. So as I said, at the moment, I'm more familiar with the range of products that Tonic offers, so I'm going to go through those. There are equivalent products in all the other brands. They might have different names, they might be slightly different, but let's go through the Tonic's ones and I'll explain my preferences in terms of lenses. So Tonic offers 7 different lens colors. There's photochromic copper, and we'll talk about what photochromic is in a moment as well. But there's photochromic copper, there's a copper neon lens as well, there's photochromic grey, silver mirror, blue mirror, red mirror, and green mirror lenses. So let's go through each of those one by one. And I'm going to go through them in a different order to what I just listed them. Okay, so I'm going to start with the grey lens first because going back, looking at the evolution of sunglasses, grey lenses is where it started, okay? And then amber lenses came out, copper lenses, whatever you like to call them, they came out later. But grey was kind of the starting point for sunglasses, mainly because they were trying to reduce the amount of glare by just reducing overall light intensity, okay? So without polarizing, just reducing the amount of light of all wavelengths coming from all directions. Now, the advantage of reducing all wavelengths means that you get kind of really good color perception, okay? So you're not really changing the colors that you see, you're just changing the intensity of the colors. Whereas most of the other lenses we're going to talk about actually remove some wavelengths of light, which means that they are distorting the color balance of what you see. So they do change the colors of what you see. So if you want to see true colors, grey lenses are the ones to go for. Good all-round glasses and supposedly very good whether it's a bright sunny day or a dull overcast day where you've still got that kind of glare. Grey lenses are good for both of those. Now, I have to be honest and admit I don't own a pair of grey lens glasses. I know lots of people do, and we see lots of people buying the photochromic grey lenses through the Tin Block Lewis Tackle Collective. So I know they're popular, but I don't personally own a pair of grey lenses because I just prefer other colours. So the next lens color we'll look at is photochromic copper, or amber if you prefer to call it amber. And again, we'll discuss what photochromic lenses are all about in just a moment. But that copper or amber color, in my opinion at least, has an advantage over grey in that it improves the ability to perceive contrast. It doesn't darken the entire picture. It kind of lightens some aspects, enables you to see contrast a lot better. Works particularly well in freshwater environments, in estuaries, dirty water. If you're fishing coastal areas where it's a bit stirred up, I really like an amber lens for that. They're also better, I find, on days that are a little bit hazy because they don't darken as much as what a grey lens does. So they let a little bit more light through, make it a little bit easier to see. And I'm told that part of the reason that you get good clarity through an amber lens or a copper lens is because they remove a lot of the blue wavelengths, and the blue wavelengths being shorter wavelengths, they tend to apparently confuse the eye a little bit more. They scatter more, and so they make it hard to see clear, sharp images. So an amber lens, that's the theory anyway, but it certainly, in my experience, it's borne true. I find that I really enjoy wearing an amber lens. In fact, even when I'm fishing out in the blue water quite often, I'll still wear an amber lens quite happily, no problems whatsoever. Now, Tonics also offer a copper neon. Now, I don't own a pair of these, but I'd love to, and eventually I'll get a pair. But these are a much, much lighter lens, much lighter color. And what they tend to do is really lift the contrast. So if you're fishing in low light conditions, but you've still got glare, or even if you're fishing in really dull conditions, you want to be able to see a bit more clearly, then that's what the neon copper lenses are really good for. Now, the other 4 lenses in the Tonics range are all mirror lenses. There's silver, blue, red and green mirror lenses. Other brands may offer mirror versions or they may offer non-mirror versions of the same colours. But let's just start by addressing what the mirror coating is all about first, because it's a coating that goes over the top of the other colours. And I think back in the day it was invented just so that people could look really cool. But what it does in terms of fishing glasses is it's very, very good on super bright days for reflecting away a lot of extraneous light. So really good in situations where you've got massive glare. So offshore on a really bright sunny day, perfect also if you're spending a lot of time on white sandy beaches or snowy areas, that sort of stuff. Mirror lenses remove so much of that extraneous glare and bounce off so much of that light that otherwise would cause you extreme discomfort and make it really hard for you to see and focus and enjoy your fishing. And then beneath the mirror, we've got these other colours. So silver, blue, red and green in the case of the Tonics range. And each of those colours obviously affects a different part of the spectral range. So it changes our perception of the colours. So the silver mirror, I guess, that's touted as being the one that's kind of an all-round. It's like the grey, but with a mirror coating. So it's removing kind of all wavelengths equally. It's removing a lot of light, and with that mirror finish, really blocking out a lot of that, that scattered light that's coming to your eyes without really changing the perception of colour that you see. So I guess a good all-round lens for bright conditions. Maybe if they have a weak spot, they might not be the preferred lens, I guess, if conditions are a bit dull or you're getting towards the end of the day or early in the day when the sun's a bit low on the water. Now that brings us to the blue lenses. Now, as I understand it, blue, red and green lenses, certainly in the Tonics range at least, they're a combination of blue filters over the top of amber filters. I could be wrong on that, but that's my understanding. And it would kind of explain my experience as well with the blue lensed mirror glasses in the Tonics range, that I find I kind of get the best of both worlds. I get amazing contrast and clarity. And I guess that's why this particular lens is so popular with offshore blue water fishers. I mean, the blue lens just makes everything offshore so much brighter and bolder, gives you great contrast as well. And so you can see, when you've got fish on the surface in blue water, you can see them really clearly with this blue lens. Plus, being the mirror lens, of course, when you get massive glare, as you do when you're fully exposed out at sea, it removes a lot of that glare, makes it really easy and comfortable to fish. Now, red lenses, and I don't wear red lenses, I don't own a red lens. It's not to say I wouldn't, but I just don't. But what they do is remove a lot of the blue wavelengths of light, which is particularly good apparently for reducing eye strain. So if you're prone to getting eye strain in bright conditions, red lenses could be absolutely perfect for you. And that's why they're so popular with people in, sort of lots of sports like, snowboarding and skiing and ice skating, that sort of thing, because evidently those red hues are very soothing on your eyes and reduce eye strain in very bright conditions. And then finally, we've got the green lens, which I find is kind of partway between the blue and the copper lens in the Tonic range. So the green lens is great because it gives super clarity. I really appreciate the contrast and the clarity you get with a green lens, perhaps even more so than a copper lens, but it doesn't have the same reduction of blue wavelengths that the blue mirror lens has. And so you get, I think, a bit better colour perception. Green lens is really popular with those that fish estuaries, rivers, lakes, that sort of thing. So definitely worth checking out if that's where you'd like to fish, but also really good on the blue water as well. So very versatile lenses, the green ones. So that's a very potted and untechnical, I guess, description of lens colours. As I see it, excuse the pun, but hopefully it helps you out a little bit if you're trying to figure out what lens colour you need for your own particular needs. Now, I did say I'd come back and talk about photochromic lenses as well.